who happens to be the leader of the party, engaging the critical stakeholders, talking about the aspirants and the APC governors. That, to an extent, shows the level of preparation by the All Progressives Congress towards its 2022 national conventions scheduled to take place on Saturday, God willing. And at party level, at the Buhari House, that is the national secretariat of the party, is only secretariat activities going on official. Most of the activities are going on at subcommittee levels. The Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee is the central body organizing this convention, with about 24 or 25 thereabout subcommittees. And the activities are at that subcommittee levels. Now, talking about that, majorly, you go to the venue of the convention, that is Eagle Square, in the heart of the city. We notice preparation in top gear ahead of this exercise.
Okay, so let me come in there, and I would like to ask, in terms of a consensus in choosing the chairman, so far, what's the situation?
Yeah, talking about consensus, that should be the main thing going on now. I want to say it, though not formally briefed as reporters. We are expected to be briefed any moment by the media subcommittee headed by the governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Esule, and top members like a presidential spokesman there, who is a member of the committee, talking about Malam Garba Shehu. He assured of that they will brief any moment. But for now, talking about consensus, that will be within the stakeholders. And as you can see, the president taking the lead, engaging them. Those are the people that matters, talking about the 6 aspirants. And like in politics, nothing is impossible. The fact that so far, a lot of them, in fact, almost all the aspirants have been screened. It is not impossible that we see, maybe we just have a few days, 2 days, within today and tomorrow, wonders will happen, and we'll see a consensus candidate.
So you would do well to give us a brief rundown of the screening, who have scaled through, and what are we expecting on Saturday?
Yes, the screening, yeah, that is a major task. That is a major, another big task going on by the subcommittee headed by the governor of Katsina State, His Excellency Governor Aminu Bello Masari, and his team. The screening actually was scheduled to commence Saturday, last weekend, and eventually they started on Tuesday, late Tuesday, and they started with the national chairmanship aspirants. As we speak, the committee in charge of screening arranged their screening zone by zone. The North Central geopolitical zone, which happens to be the zone that will produce, according to the party, microzoning the position of the national chairmanship to North Central, has about 6 aspirants, and they have all been screened. Though they also have other positions there. The Northeast too, and in the North Central, mind you, they have about 20 people contesting for different positions there. And in the Northeast too, we have about 42 people contesting for different positions. And it will interest you to also know that it is in the Northeast that we are expected to see serious contest in terms of because we are seeing a whole lot, in fact, high number of people contesting the position of Deputy National Chairman North of the party from that zone, though we have another contestant from another zone for that same post. Then in the Northwest too, we have about 28 people contesting. Don't forget, it's in the Northwest that we are expected to have the National Organizing Secretary too. And in the Southeast, the same thing, we have about 37 contenders too, there too. And it is there too, we are expected to see positions like the National Treasurer, Even in the Southwest too, we are having about 37 too contesting for so far, according to the screening committee. And there we are expected to see the national secretary of the party. And that is another key position. And there we have about 4 people seriously contesting for this position.
All right. Thank you so much, Saliu Guanara, our political correspondent there. And we'll continue to join you to give us update from the Eagle Square on the convention come Saturday, 26th of March.
Thank you. And I assure you we will be there to give you the very best and happenings as they unfold.
Thank you so much. Now, the All Progressives Congress Pre-Convention Conference will be holding on Friday, March 26, 2022 at the Shehu Musa Eradua Center, Abuja, by 9 a.m. I think that's 25th Friday. And the conference with the theme Consolidating Democratic Change, Scorecard Impact and the Road Ahead shall have in attendance leaders of the APC party, faithfuls, and the media. And the chairman is Professor Babagana Umaru Zulum, Governor of Borno State, and co-chair Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Governor of Ekiti State. In other side, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has formally declared his intention to run for president come 2023 on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. And let's get the details from Timothy Yusuf.
To announce my candidacy for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the platform of the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria.
This formal declaration of intention to again seek the presidential ticket of the PDP in the forthcoming 2023 general elections by Atiku Abubakar marks the fourth time of his contesting for the highest position in the land, and he believes that victory is possible this time around.
We must stand firm, get our PVCs, come out en masse, cast our votes, and protect the vote.
Former Vice President Namadi Sambo and the Governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, were unanimous in their convictions that Atiku Abubakar is well prepared and ready to move the country to higher heights.
Atiku Abubakar, as the Vice President from 1999 to 2007, put the foundation of the development of his administration that led to all successes of that administration.
Other speakers enjoined Nigerians to rally around the aspiration of Atiku Abubakar to secure the presidential ticket of the PDP and ultimately win the election as Nigeria's next president. Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Elsewhere, a meeting of the governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party has ended in Aba, Abia State. A communique issued by the forum expresses concern about the state of the nation. It reviewed the socio-economic and political sectors of Nigeria and resolved that PDP is ready to offer qualitative leadership for the nation. And the governors harped on rising cost of living and insecurity among other challenges confronting Nigerians. The forum also noted the approval by the PDP NEC of the timetable and timeline for congresses and convention of the party and urged the party leadership and members to remain focused and united. In attendance were 13 members of the forum, including the chairman and governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwa. Governor Aminu Tambuwa of Sokoto State is chairman, Governor Okezie Ikpeazu Abia State Vice Chairman, Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri Adamawa State, Governor Udom Emmanuel Akwa Ibom State, Governor Bala Mohammed Bauchi State, Governor and Senator Due Diri Bayelsa State, Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa Delta State, Governor Godwin Obaseki Edo State, Governor Ifeanyi Ugwanyi Enugu State, Governor Sheyi Makinde Oyo State, Governor Yisom Wike River State, Deputy Governor Haruna Manu from Taraba State. You're watching the news at 10, live on NTN News 24. More reports ahead, including Senate is to appeal ruling of the Federal High Court to Mahia, which nullified Section 84, subsection 12 of the newly amended Electoral Act. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Onkwo reports that this follows a motion sponsored by 81 senators.
Last week, the Federal High Court sitting in Umuahia nullified Section 84, subsection 12 of the newly amended Electoral Act, describing it as a violation of the provisions of the Constitution, a ruling that the Senate disagrees with. The motion, sponsored by Senator George Thompson Sekibo and 80 other senators, explained that the judgment of the court was not correct in its interpretation of Section 318 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
Letting the judgment to go without concern will become a precedent on which any person could go to the court and obtain judgment to ridicule the good intentions of the National Assembly.
Accordingly, the Senate resolves to appeal the judgment in suit marked FHC UMC CS 26/2022 for the court to set aside the judgment.
Those in favor of the prayer as amended, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Senate has confirmed 7 nominees for appointment as members of the Monetary Policy Committee in the Central Bank of Nigeria as it passed the Public Interest Disclosure and Complaints Enactment Bill.
We repeal the Public Complaints Commission Act 2004 and reenact the Public Complaints Commission Act 2022 with expanded mandate to handle the public interest disclosures, otherwise known as whistleblower.
A very, very important piece of legislation that will enable the fight against corruption.
The National Inspector General for Tax Crimes Commission Establishment Bill, which seeks to check revenue leakages arising from tax evasion and other irregularities, sponsored by Senator Oji Uzo Kalu, and the Nigerian Economic Diversification Bill, sponsored by Senator Sabi Abdullahi and opposed by Senator Chimaroke Nnamani, were passed for second reading.
To ensure that the laws related to tax crimes are effective in practice by providing a coherent strategy for enforcing the law.
To address revenue leakages emanating from non-payment and underpayment of taxes, irregularities in the assessment, reporting, and remittances of taxes. The current coronavirus pandemic, combined with mounting debt obligations and declining GDP, gives new urgency to this issue. This bill is yet another attempt to put a drain on national resources and the taxpayers. I hereby oppose vigorously.
Senate began the consideration of a bill that seeks to repeal and re-enact the Finance Management and Control Act. That bill was one of the 5 that were passed for first reading. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Onkwo, NTN News.
Many thanks, Ignatius. Invest to End TB Save Lives is the United Nations appeal to global leaders rather in fulfillment of their commitment to end tuberculosis. Uche Ugochukwu in this report tells us about the Nigerian situation.
Tuberculosis, popularly called TB, is an airborne disease associated with more than 2 weeks cough, weight loss, and excessive sweat.
Tuberculosis largely is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Okay, but you still have some other species of Mycobacterium.
The World Health Organization describes TB as a killer neglected tropical disease, which one active case can infect 10 to 15 people in 1 year. It is also a leading cause of death among people living with HIV. Regrettably, data by the World Health Organization shows that in every 100,000 Nigerians, 219 are infected with TB, despite federal government's efforts to tackle the scourge.
Stigmatization as well as the discrimination among towards the TB patients have actually driven TB underground. People are not willing to come out to own up that they have tuberculosis.
We need other sources of, let's say, and the way to encourage people to invest in TB program.
A TB survivor, Francis Obong, is a testimony to this stride.
Getting to the hospital, I noticed I was taken to the X-ray. From the very day I started taking my drugs till the termination of the 6 months, I took everything I took. The food that was given in the hospital was all free.
To equip the masses with the right information on TB, the United Nations set aside 24th March every year for countries such as Nigeria to accelerate action to end TB transmission and deaths by identifying its missing 300,000 cases. The good news is that both TB tests and treatments, which spans through 6 months, are free in Nigeria. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
All right, we'll be joining our outside broadcast for the weekly ministerial press briefing featuring the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola.
So, I'd like to start by first acknowledging a team here who work behind the scenes, our directors, representatives of the NSIA, members of the Office of the Chief of Staff in the presidency here, many people who do a lot of very unrelenting, demanding work towards actualizing these projects that many of you never see, perhaps will never meet, except for occasions like this. But there will probably be no PIDF without what they do. So when I speak here about the PIDF, it is they who really are speaking. I'm just a representative. So that said, let me also say that for those who are not familiar with what the PIDF is a Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. It started, I think, around 2017 or 2018, thereabouts, and it was a response to the clear insufficiency of our national annual appropriations to meet the very, very big capital and infrastructure commitments that we had to discharge. The fund is made up of returns on investments. So some of our dividend income from the NLNG is in that fund. The other big component of the fund is monies that had been, to use street language, stolen from Nigeria, from previous administrations, taken out in hundreds of millions of dollars. And President Buhari has been advocating for the returns of these funds. Some of them have come in, some with very, not very palatable conditions, but nevertheless, some of the monies have come in. And so, what is different from this administration and some administrations in the past, therefore, is that while some administrations were taking our money out and going to stash them away by individuals, not the administration as a whole, some people were behaving badly. This president sees the need to bring back those monies and invest them in some of the things that I will show you and use them to improve the lot of Nigerians, because that money really belongs to us. Now, the fund is managed by the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, NSI, so that's why they are here. So they manage the funds, they pay the contractors. So again, as far as these funds are concerned, the money doesn't come to our ministry, we don't touch the money, we don't see the money. what we do is we execute our contractual obligations with our contractors. We certify stage payment. This has been done. This is the estimate, is measured, is calculated based on the BEME. We certify that it is due for payment, and we send it to NSIA. NSIA now pays the contractor. They have their own consultants too, who also go, so they don't just take our word for it. So that is the governance around this. So I'm going to start, well, I think that deals with essentially this slide, what the background to the fund. What you see here are the projects under the PIDF. It's not, they're just a few projects. So there are those projects that have given us some headaches, if you like that word, as a country for some time. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. That road has been in the making since maybe year 2000, and no construction worthy of the name has taken place there until this fund kicked in, really. The other project is the second Niger Bridge. Again, we've heard about it. Second Niger Bridge is coming. As I tell people, you hear about the second Niger Bridge just when elections are coming. And after that, nothing happens again. So that project is here now. And then, of course, the Abuja, Kaduna, Zarya road. The dualization of that road took place around 1986. I think it was about 175 kilometers of it then under the Babangida administration. It was completed in 1991. And since then, 91 to 9 is about 30-something years or thereabout. So that road has reached the end of its design life. So it has to be rebuilt. So that's why you will see potholes, you will see failures. Roads don't last forever. They are designed rebuilt. So that's why you will see potholes, you will see failures. Roads don't last forever. They are designed for a number of years, subject, of course, to maintenance and also, more importantly, lack of abuse. So if you don't abuse it, if you maintain it, it will achieve its design life. So that road has reached the end of design life and is now due for reconstruction. So let's start with the second Niger Bridge. This is works going on. This was our last trip. I think in, that was March, right? When did we go? Man, time flies by for me very quickly, so pardon me. Now, those who have followed this project will know that our ministry, either myself, the directors, visit regularly to monitor. But again, for the benefit of this meeting, we have a monthly meeting called the PIDF monthly meeting. And at that meeting, it involves myself, the Minister of Finance, because there are financial issues, the MD of NSIA. Meeting is chaired by the Chief of Staff to the President and all our directors. And what happens is to assess progress. And from reports from that meeting are passed on to the President because he's very, very passionate about this project. So he has first-hand knowledge of what is going on these projects, even without actually visiting. So last year we visited, the Chief of Staff said, well, we see these things on slides, the contractors present to us every month. I want to go and see what is going on. So last year or so, we went to all the trips, all the 3 projects, but the Chief of Staff was only able to accompany us then on the Kaduna Zarya, where we had a town hall meeting. Some of you might remember. His work schedule here made it impossible for him to complete the 3. So this time he said, let us go and see the bridge. So that's what. And what you see here really is the last lap of work going on. So let me move a little more quickly. The first slide to the left is the link road. And those structures you see in the middle are the toll plaza, 16 in all, where this is. So what is left now, and the buildings that will service it, what is left is just the canopy and all of that. The one to the right is the access route to the bridge. And the one to the bottom left and right left are aerial shots of the bridge. So those two places where you see like red items, they are structures for launching the beam. So those are the two places left to complete the bridge work. And they're just a few meters, maybe the distance between here and here. So I think one part of it would have been completed by the 15th of March. That was the deadline. So what we're dealing with. In the middle there is that bridge. The sky blue area, let me see, I think there's a pointer here somewhere. Yeah, yes, this is the River Niger and all of its tributaries. So this part is the bridge. This is the bridge itself, and this part is the access road, all this blue part up to here. I hope you can see. So then there is another part of this component. So all of this from here to here is 206 billion naira, thereabouts. 1.6 kilometer bridge and 10 kilometers of access road combined. Now, from here to here is 17 kilometers of access road in, I think this is the, this is the Anambra side, I think. This is the Anambra side. So there's an interchange here, which is part of what we are doing now. But this green part is going to come later. It's not part of this current project. So we call it phase 2A. And then there's this red part here, also, that links this side all to here. This is the delta side. We call this phase 2B. And again, that's not part of this current project. But there will be work that will continue after we have delivered the bridge and the main access road for now. So let me go quickly. This shows you a view of what has been done, a longitudinal view and a sketch. So all of these are the piles from beginning to here. Then you will have somewhere here later what the engineers call an abutment, which is like to ramp up. Am I right? Yeah. Because I'm not one of them, but they try to teach me. So these are all the piles. Now, unfortunately, the details are not very, very clear. But let me just, I think I have something on my notes that I want to emphasize here so that you just understand there will be questions around this. Yes. So right here, right, the top level, highest point of the bridge is 49 meters. 49 meters. So if you understand that the average building from floor to ceiling is 3 meters, if you do the calculation, you are looking at about a 16-story building in terms of real high point. Now, this place is the River Niger during the rainy season at full speed. And this place is the River Niger during the dry season when the river level drops. This low point on its own is 13 meters, that low point. so which is about 4 stories building. This middle point where it gets to about 25 meters during the rainy season is the equivalent of about 8-story building of water. So that just tells you what we have had to do. Then all of these are the sectional views of the piles. Each one of these has at least 25 piles. You know those things that they pile into the ground. Each one has 25 to make one column. Because this is a navigation channel for big barges. So it is designed to withstand, I think, about the capacity of a vessel. If it collides with it, a vessel is designed, I think, for about 2,000 tons resistant capacity. So that's the some of the things I can tell you about that. Now, so what you have here are just some details, and I will come back to this later. The length of the road that I told you about, the amount, 206 billion. The amount that has been certified to date is 160 billion, and the percentage level is 91%. At the moment, 1,486 people are directly employed here. So this is the place where people go every day and say, leave home and say, I'm going to work. So if you look at that, that is 1,484 families. But I will come back to that. Then the spin-offs, the indirect jobs, and I will come back to this again. 8,110 people live off this bridge. Because this is happening, they are employed. Not employees of the company, but they benefit from this. So let me quickly, I will skip this because I'll come back to it in my conclusions. So let's just talk about what is happening. So we took some people on our last inspection. This is what some of them are saying. We are happy. We have been hearing all this while about the second Niger bridge, but today at least I am stepping on it. The FG has really actualized the dream. That's Stella Ibuka. Then we are happy. We thank the FG for making our dream come true. This has been a dream for many people. Maureen, there's your KK. Then I am happy about it. At least it relieves a lot of pain on the part of traffic. The essence of coming to Nature Market via Asaba will become a thing of joy. I have a property along the road, which I am praying they will get to that point where they will compensate those of us whose property has been affected. So I pray the bridge will be completed tomorrow. Okenta, Okechukwu. So this is how in different ways, apart from those who are directly employed, this project is already touching people and is not yet finished. So again, what people are saying, one Nollywood legend showers praises on President Buhari, confirmed, blah, blah, blah. The second Niger bridge has been linked. The next generation of Igbos will ask who built the bridge. The Igbo elders will have to say Muhammadu Buhari. Then the future young Igbos will ask again, how was he our enemy? Yawago boss. The reasoning and so on and so forth. But there's been a lot of... So let's move quickly to Abuja, Kaduna. So these are, as I said, some of the comments in the public space on social media. I'm sure many of you see it. There's a lot there, but this is us. So, yes, Abuja, yeah, sorry. Abuja, Kaduna, Zarya provided some background just to let you into it. This is a 375-kilometer project. It's actually the biggest project in Nigeria. The cost is in the order of 700 billion. That length of 375 kilometers has 41 bridge components inside, 41. And this project started, I think, in 2018. So it was the last to start. But just to dimension the scope of work. So in the others, we are talking about 11, 10-kilometer road and a 1.6 kilometer. This is 375 kilometers over, I think, 4 territories: FCT, Niger State, Kaduna State, and Kano State. So that's how big it is. These are photos of sections where earthwork is still going on in some places, asphalting is going on in some places, asphalting has been completed, lane marking in some places. So when people ask, when are you going to finish it? The instructive thing about a road is that, as long as this, is that we can't finish the road in one day. We complete it in sections. So we can lock up 10 kilometers and divert traffic to the other side, which you will experience. When that 10 kilometers is built, is finished, it's done. We issue a certificate of completion to the contractor, he gets paid. We open that place to traffic. Once you start driving on this, it's finished, it's done. Because the truth is that when we went on tour, I had to explain this to people. Can you imagine if we didn't do it this way? The only other way to do it was to close the road so that we can have one perfect symmetrical construction. That doesn't happen like that anywhere in the world that I know of. So assuming that we wanted to pour asphalt on one day, where will we get asphalt? Which companies can produce asphalt to cover 375 kilometers of 4 lanes at once? There's no such capacity anywhere in the world in 1 week or in 1 day. Then let us remember, asphalt has to be laid hot at a specified temperature. So how do you keep it hot? So just to let you know this, and also to share it with people, that this is how roads are built in sections. Whilst lane marking is finished in some places, asphalting is going on. So let's go to the profile of this thing. JB is a contractor. You have 375 kilometers, as I told you. Cost is 797.236 billion. Right now, we have certified 296 billion. Gross percentage completion is about 22.41%, and I will address that later, because the drag is on the Abuja to Kaduna section. There's a lot of work because there are 3 sections, but this is the gross report. So, for example, if you have somebody performing at 90% in one place, 80% in one place, and a lower percentage in another place, if you do it up, it will bring down that 90%. But you will see that Abuja, Kaduna, Zarya, Kano, Zarya are making progress. We are now trying to ramp up on Abuja, Kaduna, which is the most difficult part, and it is the longest part. That is where you have a lot of trucks, trailers. On the way, we have to relocate them. That is the most densely occupied part, so we have to remove, what are they called now? Cable utility lines. We have to relocate communities that have settled there. Then the Ajakuta, Kaduna, Kano gas pipeline of NNPC also crosses the road somewhere in that section. So we have to wait for them to do their crossing instead of building the road and then cutting it again. So these are some of the logistical issues we were managing. But 1,500 people at the last count go to that route every day to earn a living. And this is important to note. In spite of the security challenges, people still go to work. This is the livelihood source. They must go. So what am I saying? We don't want any security challenges anywhere. But the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes the way the security issues are reported overlooks the fact that people still have to go to work, and they actually do go. We would love a situation where there are no security challenges. Of course, indirect jobs are about 3,100. I will come to this part again in my summing up because it's important to tell the story as I want to tell it. Of course, these are some of the comments, the thickness and the wideness of the Abuja, Kaduna. This is the quality of work that is being done, the thickness of the asphalt, the sub-base, and the cement mix on the pavement. And somebody just telling people he's already having a smooth ride on the completed. So you will have those experiences. There's a place where somebody called me and said he was doing 160. I said maximum speed is 100. He said, no, the road is too smooth. I said, go back to 100, please. So again, those are issues we need you to help us propagate, to educate everybody. The maximum speed on Nigerian highways is 100 kilometers. Maximum. Nobody should exceed it. Ideally, we like it to be at 90. Because when anything goes wrong, you are in better control of your vehicle and you can bring it to a halt. And that is often the reason why accidents happen frequently. Loss of control over speeding is a major component. So if you can help us, this is something I need advocacy about, just to educate people, maximum 100 kilometers per hour. Now, so let's quickly go to the third project, and then I will head to round up. This is the Lagos-Ebattle Expressway. Now, it's in two sections. The first section is about 44 kilometers, awarded to Julius Berger. That's the Lagos to Shagamu. And the second section is from Shagamu to Ibadan, awarded to RCC. Well, everybody is looking for just a road. To the engineers and to some of us who do this work, the road really is more than just the pavement we are all used to. I've had to learn this. The road starts from drainage. If water doesn't run off the road, that road is not going to last. Because, and let me spend a little time here, all what makes up a road, from the laterite that is compounded to the cement, we are looking at taking pieces and bits of things and compound it into a whole. Not so, over kilometers. So we are binding things together essentially. So anytime water starts getting in and can't go out, what does water do? It dissolves things. And that's where, as simple as that, the road begins to fail. Water is even more tolerable. Items like diesel, petrol are much more deleterious solvents. They will quickly destroy your road. So that's why people must not park and be changing engine oil, removing diesel, selling petrol on the roadside. It just is the beginning of the end for that road. And I hope that this audience can help us take that message as far as it should go. It's just, it's like setting a house on fire after you've built it. So the drains are important, and those who have used this road, even as it's being constructed, will see the work that is being done to ensure that whenever it rains or whatever, as it will rain, the water runs off as quickly as possible. That is one of the things that will preserve the design life of the road. So these are already completed sections. The lane marking for this will soon start, and it will begin to look like any road we've seen in the world. So that section, section 1, Lagos to Shagamu, JB, 43.6 kilometers, as I said, is 134 billion. Because what we're doing there is that we're expanding the existing route from 2 to 3 lanes on each carriageway. And we're also providing some other services, service lanes. Amount that have been certified is 83%, 57% completion, and 396 jobs directly, employment, 485 indirect jobs. Just like the Abuja Kaduna Highway, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway also has at least 40,000 vehicles using it every day. So this is what we have to manage while we are constructing. So for people who have been concerned, oh, this thing is taking long, we wish we could shut it down, but we can't. So we have to manage traffic every day for people to get on with their lives. So let me quickly go. I'll come back to this. That's another slide I've missed. I'll come back to it. So this is section 2 from Shagamu to Ibadan by RCC. So you will see there the stone base is being applied. So after the lateral compartment, we use cross stones, and it is compacted, as you see on the roller on the side, to a significant thickness, and then the asphalt comes on top of it. Now, instructively, let me point out that this road is being reconstructed. So what is really happening is that we are excavating the entire road, removing bad soil, and rebuilding back to at least about, we're excavating to over 1 meter deep on each inch of the 127 kilometers on both sides. So, and it's important to emphasize that. So it's not as if we are just scraping the surface. We are excavating and trucking away all those materials that have been dissolved over the years by diesel. We can't use them again. So we're getting fresh soil. And the same thing is being done using a different technology on the Abuja Kano. What is happening in Abuja Kano is that the new technology has come to Nigeria by Julius Berger. They take the old material, go and reprocess it, recycling, use chemicals and additives, and then bring it back. But that technology is not available here. And the engineers will tell you that if you build with old or recycled material, because they have been exposed to the elements for a long time, they are stronger if you reuse them. So these are area shots of, as we are building, is beginning to take shape. So the central carriageway there, this is concrete work done inch by inch, meter by meter, until it crosses the entire 127 kilometers. This is manual and mechanized labor to build that concrete barrier over 127 kilometers. So this contractor has 84 kilometers, 176 billion contract sum, certified 123.8 billion, percentage completion 69%, 734 workers, 1,733 indirect jobs. Now to the comments again. I'll come back to that slide. Now to the comments again. So for the first time in over 10 years, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was completely free on Sunday when commuters are trooping to Lagos to prepare for the weekend. Completely free on March 20th. That road makes it to my Thanksgiving list every weekend. So this is somebody's Thanksgiving item. So much quality, the drainage and the curbing are totally wonderful and visionary. One eternal problem solved, 100%. Drivers, dear drivers, Lagos-Ibadan is not a race course. It is asphalt 8. There is no need for speed. Please calm down. Don't rush to heaven or hell. So, and I think we need to keep that message, as I said, going. Now, let me go back to the 4 slides that I missed. And I think they are slides 10, 16, 21, 25, and this one. I'll come back quickly to them. So let me just find my way back slowly. And, you know, I don't know how many of you are aware or familiar with the Marshall Plan in Europe at the end of the Second World War. If you are, you will see that from after the Marshall Plan, every country has realized the intrinsic value of infrastructure as an economic driver. If you want to grow your economy, build the infrastructure, whether it's telecom, whether it's shipping, whether it's aviation, whether it's transport. The more infrastructure you have, the more efficient you will be, the more competent and productive you will be. And what happens during infrastructure delivery is that money trickles through the entire value chain. People make money, even if they don't come out to say, I am making money. So let's go through some of it. On the second Niger bridge, to construct that bridge, we're looking at 2,806 tons of cement. 2,806 tons of cement. Let me do the math for you. If 1 ton is 1,000 kg, divide by 50 kg per bag and multiply by this. You will see how many bags of cement is being consumed. Reinforcement, that is steel, 2,613 tons. Coarse aggregate, 14. So coarse aggregate comes from quarries. Blasting, crushing, processing, 14,206 tons. Fine aggregate, 3,757 tons. Crushed stones, 8,684 tons. Bitumen, 761 tons. And diesel, 784,000 liters. But this is small. So let's go to the next slide, and I will just sum them up, just for you to bear in mind that those figures. So this is Abuja, Kano. Same thing, 131,000 tons of cement, 14,000 tons of reinforcement, coarse aggregate 217,000 tons. But look at the diesel component here, 13.8 million liters of diesel. And so on and so forth. So let me go forward again to the next one so that you just get a sense. This is Lagos, Ibadan. This is 34 million liters of diesel. Bitumen, 28,000 tons, crushed stones, reinforcement, and all of that. And again, section 2, 45 million liters of diesel, bitumen, and so on. So what am I trying to tell you? What picture? First of all, see the aggregate total number of direct jobs. So these are 5,000 families, not just 5,000 of any nomenclature, people who are directly impacted that we can count. These ones are the ones who are the indirect employees. So who are they? Some of them are those people who supply the bitumen, the aggregate, the crushed stones. Julius Berger and construction companies don't keep those materials. What they have are their equipment and maybe their batching plant. Some of them own 1 or 2 quarries, but the truth is that when they need those numbers, is the subcontractors and suppliers. Femi Adesina and Sons, BRF and Co., all of you and Co., Enterprises Limited. Those are the small businesses that drive every economy in the world. Small law firms, accounting firms, engineering consultancies. Those are the people embedded here. That is the supply chain where the money comes from NSIA and hits the road. We haven't started talking about the laborers who earn a daily living every day. And if you sample across Nigeria, daily labor alone ranges between 2,500 a day to, in some places, to 3,500 a day. So this is how the policy of the president reaches the street. Even though he can't meet those people directly, they're feeling the impact of what he's doing. So I just thought that is important. So for people who say, oh, Buhari is building infrastructure, is it only infrastructure? This is a major linchpin of the economic agenda of this country. Because first of all, right now, people are getting stuff to do. So if you go and analyze the GDP results sectorally, you will see that mining is thriving. Mining is under, quarrying is under mining. You will see that the construction sector is booming. This is part of the reason why. you will see petroleum products also booming. This is part of the reason why. And then we haven't talked about the food vendors. At each construction site, people must eat, and they eat twice a day because I interact with them when I go there. A plate of food before all this cost of living started rising significantly was about 2,500 a day, and they eat 250, sorry, and they eat twice a day. So some of the people I speak to there who supply food go home with, after cost, 5,000 naira a day as a food vendor. So this is a major economic driver, and I thought that I should speak to this part last because we focus more on the road, but you will see the millions, hundreds of thousands of tons that affect the cement industry. So if you go to the cement industry, they are working at full steam. So people you and I know are employed there. If this isn't happening, they don't have that work. Now, each of these contracts has a bank guarantee for the money they get. So the banks are making, they don't give guarantees for free. So it's hitting the banks as well. Now, each of these contracts also has a 7% value-added tax component. So look at 700 billion and apply 7.5% on Abuja, Kano. Look at 206 billion and apply 7.5%. When that VAT comes, collected by FRC, comes to the center, 85% of it goes to the states and contributes to. So there are too many sides of infrastructure that this meeting alone and the time we have cannot let me dwell into. But I think this is a convenient point to stop to make the economic link. Thank you.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Preview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Abuja. Join us as we chat with this soft-spoken and result-oriented cake maker, Ibironke Adelokun.
You're welcome to Baker's World.
Thank you very much.
You chose to go into hotel and catering management as a course to study. How did this come about?
As a child, I loved anything food. And I just, I believe it was God that worked it out because He just pushed me into that path. So everything I do, so long as it's connected to food, I do with ease, no struggles. So that made me know that was just my path. So I really easily fitted in.
From that young girl that loved baking, cooking and making pastries to the professional baker that you are today. Tell me more about how that journey started for you.
Apart from graduating from school as a graduate of hotel and catering management, I also attended a confectionery school for cake decorating. But then I always subscribed for some foreign magazines. The name of that magazine was Cake Decorating. It comes from both the US and the UK. So I studied them and I make sure that I practice what I learned from it. So it really helped.
Let's talk about food safety.
This is the network service of the NTA. We now join our outside broadcast crew.
Before we get into the event proper, as is traditional, we will respectfully observe the national anthem and thereafter proceed with the event.
Shall we be upstanding, please, for the national?
Welcome to Kaduna, the Eid prayer ground of Sultan Bello Jumaat Mosque, Kaduna, venue for the groundbreaking of Maize Pyramid, the unveiling of Maize Pyramid.
Thank you very much. May we please be seated.
Welcome to Sultan Bello Eid prayer ground, venue for the unveiling of Maize Pyramid, the second Maize Pyramid, courtesy Maize Farmers Association of Nigeria in conjunction with the Central Bank of Nigeria under the Anko Borrower program of the federal government. Behind me are the Maize Pyramid being erected by Maize Farmers Association of Nigeria, and of course a testimony and in consonance with the change mantra and next level mantra of the Buhari administration of ensuring national food security, food sufficiency in Nigeria. In a couple of minutes, we shall be witnessing speeches and also the unveiling ceremony of this important milestone in food production of Nigeria. Please stay tuned and stay with us.
Historic. We are reminded that history is not the burden of any one man or woman, but at every point in the development of societies, some men and women have more than their fair share in rising to meet the challenges of history. These can be said of President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Godwin Emefiele of the Central Bank of Nigeria. But these men, with the support of the president, determined to change the very unpleasant situation, have reason to be counted, have given all that it requires, and proudly it can be said today, exercising the instrument of authority they have turned around a sad situation to one of pride for all countrymen. Today, therefore, signifies the unity of ambition, passion for progress, and economic emancipation by all patriots of this country. Indeed, all stakeholders, from the president to the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and his team, and indeed the commodities associations led by their leadership, have discharged this onerous responsibility with a certain dignity, determination, and distinction that has been applauded and will continue to be applauded. It is on this note that I once again warmly welcome you to Kaduna, the great city, for a great event, which is the unveiling of the pyramids. Like I stated, the pyramids have disappeared like the dinosaur, but today, like the phoenix, with the determination of the president and the governor Central Bank of Nigeria, they have reappeared. And I think it is something that we should all be proud of. And let's put our hands together for this great feat. Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. At this juncture, I'd like to invite, I could call him on behalf of his association, the drivers of today's event. For without the maize farmers, where would we be today? It is on this note, I'd like to welcome to the podium for the welcome address, the President Man, Bello Abubakar. President Man, please make your way to the podium for your welcome address. President, welcome.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وبعد. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture, Kaduna State, the Central Bank Governor, Dr. Godwin Emefiele, is also represented by the Director, Development Finance, Mr. Yusuf Gila, the Chairman, Committee on Agriculture and Production, Honorable Mukhtar Danduse, the MD, Unity Bank of Nigeria PLC, Your Royal Highnesses, the Emir of Zozo, the Emir of Katsina, the representative of Emir of Katsina and Daura, His Royal Highness Chief Bolaham Akambi, the President of all commodity associations here present, our input suppliers and service providers, Board of Directors and Technical Committee members of Maize Association of Nigeria here present, Man National Executives and all Maize Farmers Association in Nigeria here present, our ulamas and pastors, gentlemen of the press, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and respect, on behalf of the National Executives and the team members of Maize Association of Nigeria, MAN, I welcome Your Excellencies to the unveiling of the second National Maize Pyramid. Your Excellencies, distinguished senators, honorable members, royal fathers, ladies and gentlemen, Maize Association of Nigeria would like to use the forum to continue to show appreciation to the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for giving farmers a new lease of life. Furthermore, it is to thank the dynamic and resourceful governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Godwin Emefiele, CON, for providing the enabling environment for smallholder farmers. More importantly, Your Excellencies, today's event will also demonstrate the capacity of man in mobilizing Nigerian farmers to produce what can sustain us and even export over a period of time. To showcase a viable platform for loan disbursement, proper utilization to enhance repayment. Pyramid of maize as a symbolic flexibility of alternative repayment option. Official unveiling of these pyramids as a genuine feedback to the present administration determination to lift many Nigerians out of extreme poverty and position agriculture as a business. To also show that man, it's not just supporting food security, but food and nutrition security with the collaboration with Harvest Plus to promote the production and the consumption of nutritious vitamin A maize. As you can see in this field, we established 21 pyramids. The 21st one is the one that is in the middle here, that you can see is a yellow vitamin A maize to provide nutritious food for vitamin A maize to the country. So we are not only producing food for maize, we are also producing nutritious vitamin A maize. Man is truly Nigeria's farmer's hope. Ladies and gentlemen, what is being displayed here is a fraction of what has been produced by our farmers. We have more in our various warehouses across the country. There are 21 pyramids, each constructed with between 30 to 50 trucks of maize. Your Excellencies, distinguished honorable members, royal fathers, ladies and gentlemen, achieving these feats have not been a bed of roses. We all remember the COVID-19 pandemic of 2019 and the security challenges caused by enemies of the nation, which has also affected the volume. This was a very big challenge for food production, particularly maize farmers. Besides this, also was the sudden seizure of rain in 2020 and 2021 wet season. This is the effect of climatic change and is beyond the control of the farmers. Despite these challenges, and bearing in mind that money given for this farming is a loan, to resilient Nigerian maize farmers were able to produce what is being unveiled today. However, it is not just challenges, but great achievements have been made under the Anko Barwa program. Man membership has increased greatly. Able-bodied young men and women are joining the association. Through the Anko Barwa's program, man has acquired some mechanization equipment, like tractors, combine harvesters, creating both direct and indirect jobs for our teaming youth. This is unprecedented in the history of commodity association in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, the event of today will not have been possible without the support of the unique and dynamic of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Development Finance, we call it the Farmers Department, under the able leadership of Mr. Yusuf Gila. Thank you very much. Please keep supporting us and we'll continue feeding the nation. Another great institution that has made today's event possible in the association PFI, the Trusted and Reliable Unity Bank PLC. The bank has been a great partner in this movement. We thank you very much and would like to take this partnership to greater heights. Your Excellencies, distinguished honorable members, royal fathers, ladies and gentlemen, the association wishes to thank the government and the people of Kaduna State for the support it has provided since the naming of Kaduna as a venue for the unveiling of the pyramid. We sincerely appreciate. The association wishes to thank our royal fathers, especially those that have really been fathers indeed. They participated in Anko Barwa program under MAN and have been redeemed the repayment of their loan with produce. We are grateful. We wish that more royal fathers will join us to make our recoveries seamless. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news of the farmers, particularly maize farmers, is that the Nigerian Commodity Exchange is now available as a platform for trading agricultural commodities. Farmers can now get good prices for their farm produce and can sell at their convenient market price. Finally, Your Excellencies, distinguished honorable members, royal fathers, ladies and gentlemen, Nigerian farmers can produce what we need both for household consumption, and industrial use. We are the eagle. We have the strength, vision, and know our targets. Maize grains are available. No importation of maize. No champion of no maize importation. Dr. Emepele, with you we stand and we shall continue to thank you sincerely. Furthermore, I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the support of our late patron, the late Alhaji Hassan Dambaba Marapamaga Jingaru Sokoto. May his soul rest in perfect peace. I want to also sincerely appreciate the support of all our partners, our sisters organizations, president of the Commodity of the Association in Nigeria. We thank you all. We thank you. We wish you all safe journey back to your various destination. Thank you.